how much of YouTube you think is luck versus skill?
It's 99% skill.
If you have 100 subscribers, you have 5 subscribers. If you upload a good enough video, it will get views. Like,
if you know what you're doing, you could do that 100%.
Jimmy, come on. Friendly reminder that shut up. Plus ratio. You'd think out of all the people to perpetuate things like this, it wouldn't be Mr. Beast of all people. Someone who knows what it's like to work so hard for so long and still not get noticed by anyone. What he's perpetuating in this clip is the idea that YouTube is a meritocracy. And please, remember what I said at the start of this video. This is not a criticism. But this part is. I'm gonna do this without using any personal experience because I know I get the optics of the situation. I'm not gonna be the channel with 20-something thousand subscribers complaining about meritocracy on YouTube. I get the optics. I am aware of the irony and I accept my beta status. Or honestly, let's be honest, omega status. I have sinned. YouTube is not a meritocracy. People like Mr. Beast are in a position to say things like this because they've made it. However, there is undeniably an element of luck to YouTube clout. When larger creators like Mr. Beast perpetuate this myth, it comes off as just arrogant. As if your true view of YouTube is that no matter what, the better the content, the higher the view count. You're essentially just inflating your ego. There's a whole genre of YouTube now where popular creators attempt to create new channels to see if it really is just luck. But do you really believe that, Jimmy? You really believe, no matter what, that the higher the view count, the better the video? Is that what you believe? And if it really is, if that's really what you believe, then I have to ask you this. Why is Cocomelon above you, Jimmy? Is Baby Shark, Submarine, More Nursery Rhymes, and Kid Songs Cocomelon better than every video you've ever made? Is that truly what you believe? This is all 100% a symptom of survivor bias. Survivor bias is defined as focusing solely on those who pass through a certain selection process whilst ignoring those who did not due to your inability to see them, which naturally leads us to draw certain conclusions about why some people seem to succeed and others not so much. It's normally a racism thing, which is why people like Mr. Beast who made it out of small channel purgatory tend to have these beliefs. You're able to uphold that system because you're in the most visible group of creators. However, for every Mr. Beast out there, there are hundreds of creators, maybe even thousands, who have been working so hard and are so desperate to succeed, yet we will never see them because they just weren't given a chance. YouTube is a massive platform, so it's not a hard assumption to make that there are people out there who could have had tens of millions of subscribers if they were just given a chance. And yet we'll never see them. Making good videos is a skill that you can hone no matter what channel size you are, but that scalability can only be done once you're discovered. Isn't that right, Jimmy? It takes a lot of resources to be able to create content on this platform. So when you say things like just make better videos, you're asking people with less resources to somehow do more with what they have than you did at that time and somehow still have the same level of knowledge. And yes, while I don't believe there's anybody out there with the same level of dedication that Jimmy has, I do believe there are people who are just as talented. People who, once again, we'll never hear from because they'll be lost to the void of time. Okay, I might have made it a little bit personal. I think the streamer Ludwig, who actually knows Mr. Beast and subsequently has swallowed a series of Jimmy pills, actually has a really good stance on the matter.
Although my mentality is do whatever you want because it'll always work out because it has to.
Yeah.
Part of that might be rooted in confirmation bias because it has worked out. I am able to say it from a point of privilege, which I feel like is worth noting.
Yeah.
Go off, Caden. Slay. Good job. Yay. YouTube may have been a meritocracy in the past, but it outgrew that title long ago. It's simply too big. But in light of that, I think massive creators should refrain from this line of thinking because it's genuinely damaging. And once again, it's purely survivor bias. It only seeks to harm the people who will never achieve the success of others purely because of a series of random arbitrary events led by a robot. God, that was base. That was so base.